Hi, and welcome to another installment of Math Basics, Mr. Besh. Today we look at translating graphs, and more specifically, identifying which equation represents the line on a coordinate plane. Now, this is not a real difficult process. Basically, most of this is just simply understanding your vocabulary. Choices in a problem like this can be eliminated simply by recognizing certain pieces of detail. For instance, the first thing that should stand out is the direction in which your line is traveling on your coordinate plane from left to right. If your line goes up from left to right, the slope has to be positive, whereas if your line is going down like the example here, your slope has to be negative. The slope of a line is the number in front of x when your equation has y by itself on the left-hand side. So immediately, when we're looking at our choices here, A, B, and D have a negative slope. C does not. So as a result, that is my first choice I eliminate. The next thing I train my students to look for is where does your line cross your y-axis? The point where your line crosses the y-axis is called the y-intercept. And when your equations are in slope-intercept form, which they all are, the value where your line crosses the y-intercept is at -2. So if you look at choices A and B, they both end in -2 apiece. D does not, it's +4, so that will be my next choice I eliminate. So now we have to identify which of these equations have the correct slope. Our two choices are -1/2 and -2. To do this, we are going to use the rise over the run technique since we have a picture and 2 points identified. Step number 1, take the point that is lowest on your line, which is 4, -4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to climb the rungs of the ladder. We want to identify how far do you have to go up on your graph to get directly across from the second point that we have, which is 0, -2. And that is 2 units up. And this becomes the rise of my slope. Now we need to calculate the run. To calculate the run, all you simply do now is go from where you're at to the next point. And when you count, you end up going 4 units to the left. And this becomes the bottom of your fraction. Now, obviously, you reduce 2 over 4 down into lowest terms, and you get 1/2. And remember, because your line goes down from left to right, this is the reason why your slope is negative. And this is how we identify the equation of a line from a graph on the coordinate plane. I hope you found this both helpful and informative.